Okay, welcome to Mustang Baseball Live on Tradio. We're out here in Brownwood, Texas tonight at the Morris South Hall Field for the region finals as the Grapevine Mustangs square off with the Lubbock Cooper Pirates. And this will be the third straight season that the Mustangs face off with Lubbock Cooper in the playoffs. But before we go into this matchup, I want to introduce you to our special guest tonight. We've got Ryan Hill with us. I'm sure anyone who followed the Mustangs the last couple seasons knows Ryan's son, Dason Hill. And I'm going to have Ryan just give us a little bit of an update on Dason's last year since he was drafted by the Minnesota Twins. So go ahead, Ryan, and tell us what your oldest son's been up to.
Sure thing, Jeff. Thanks for having me on here. This is going to be a fun night. Dason's having a good time out in Fort Myers. You know, after the draft, we had a week. Literally, we had 6 days, and he was gone. Literally, we walked into the airport, we waved goodbye, and that was it. He's in Fort Myers pretending to be an adult. And he had fall instructs, did not play in the fall. They gave him feedback that his inning load going through the playoffs was they categorized the guys into heavy load, light load, and then guys who were rehabbing from something. So they had him in the heavy load. So it was get stronger, eat food, get stronger, and kind of learn the process and learn the system. And so that's what he did in the fall. Got to throw a few live at-bats down the stretch, and then ended up staying for the extended camp that took him through Thanksgiving. And he enjoyed that, and then he came home. We had him home until early January, and then he's back out for early camp before spring training.
Well, I believe it was Dason 18 or 19 last year when he left for Florida.
That's right.
And I may have missed part of it, but how much time has he been home since that? Because I've heard they had him in classroom sessions, and tell me a little bit about how much downtime he's had. Obviously, he didn't spend a whole lot of time pitching, but they've done a lot of other things with him.
Yeah, there was, pitchers, it's kind of well known, pitchers have quite a bit of downtime. They end up being pretty good at golf or fishing, pursuing other hobbies. But so there is that piece of it, but it's a full, like you or I, a full eight-hour work day. They go in the mornings, and in Fort Myers in the fall, they try to get their work done by 2 because the afternoon storms come through almost on like clockwork. And so they get in and get out, get up early, eat, and get their work in and get out of there. But it is a lot of IQ and classroom stuff. Dason enjoyed that. I didn't know whether he would or not, but he's really enjoyed that. And in fact, that's been one of the fun things about when he calls me is because I love this stuff. So getting to hear what's going on in the classroom and him teaching me some of the finer points and some of the more sort of saber metric parts of the game that they're having him lean into and figure out. So he's enjoying that piece of it.
Well, I heard he's been eating well down there, and Dason has not built anything like you or I. So tell me if has he put on any weight since he joined the Twins?
He has. I was actually just looking at pictures from the fall, and he looks like a different kid. Now, he's still not built like you or I.
Right.
But he's definitely gained a lot of weight. I think he's well over 180 now, and it's a good 180. He's got room to go, but he's looking good.
Well, they have let him get on the mound here in the spring, and tell me about some of his numbers here in this early season so far.
He's had a good start. It's all looking good. Things have ticked up. The stuff's improved, and the velocity's improved, and so it's been a good start. He's getting a lot of whiffs, and he and I are sort of obsessed with getting whiffs, and so he's enjoying that. But it's a learning process, and I think also the league is also learning him, and so once the book's out on guys, just like you see a guy with a sophomore year as a quarterback that kind of figure out what his tendencies are. So we'll see how he adjusts to that. The whole thing is cat and mouse. The rest of his life, they're going to figure out something about him. He goes into outings with information on his hitters now. Awesome. So usually he'll get 2. They call them focus hitters, and they'll have a couple of guys where they want him to pitch to. They want him to strike a balance between his strengths and that hitter's weaknesses. The rest of the 6, 7 batters in the lineup, it's pitch to your strengths, throw strikes and pitch to your strengths. But there's 2 guys, they'll have a card, they'll have a meeting, and he and the catcher will figure out how to kind of game plan against the guy's weaknesses.
Well, one thing I noticed is he's averaging 2 strikeouts an inning in A-ball, and that's what he did in his senior year in here at Grapevine, and it's amazing that he's able to do that at the next level, because those are incredible numbers, even in high school, but certainly in pro ball. So yeah, just really excited to hear about his early success, and he's got no bigger fans than me and Trey. Trey keeps me updated, and I know he touches bases with you, so I should apologize for bugging you so much, but I know you enjoy talking about it.
We enjoy it, and we appreciate y'all following him and supporting him, and he's a big fan of this program still. We talk after all of his starts, and he's always checking in on the team and seeing how the guys are doing, and he wants them to win another state championship. So he'd like to be here, but they don't. He doesn't get to come home.
Oh, no.
We'll see him in November.
Yeah. No, this is right in the middle of the season. You can't say I'm going to watch my high school team in the playoffs. But well, let's dive right into this matchup between the Mustangs and the Pirates. The Mustangs are now at 31-3 on the season, and the Pirates sit at 29-11. So, interestingly, they've played 7 more games than the Mustangs, but that's partly because they've gone to 3 games in a couple of their playoff series. And as we mentioned in the opening, this is the 3rd straight season that the Mustangs square off with the Pirates, and it's deja vu all over again. Not only are we facing the Pirates, we're going to face the same pitcher tonight, Jake Quaglia, who started Game 2 back in 2023, interestingly enough, against Dayson. And I remember talking to you before that game. We had a little pregame interview down at Tarleton State. Unfortunately for the Mustangs, that game went the way of the Pirates. But we got revenge on Jake Quaglia last year in Game 2. The Mustangs rattled him for 11 hits and 5 earned runs to close out that series 5-0. So this is the rubber match of the series. After they got us in 23, we got them in 24. A little bit more about Quaglia. He has been on a pretty good run here in the playoffs. He's pitched 24 innings in 3 starts. Only 3 earned runs allowed in those starts. His last 2 outings have actually been shutouts. One of those outings was a 10 innings against Argyle that they won 1-0. I had to look at that twice. I'm thinking, I haven't seen a high school kid go 10 innings, and you really have to be efficient with your pitch count. He threw about 109 pitches in that game. But that's amazing that he went 10 innings.
That is incredibly efficient.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah, so he throws a lot of strikes. We know that. Mustangs hitters should come out ready to swing the bat, because I think he's not going to give us anything or he's not going to give us many bases on balls.
It sounds like he's going to fill up the strike zone, and it sounds like he probably pitches to contact. I haven't gone and looked at the numbers on it, but man, 100, to get 10 innings in 100 pitches.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. I think he had 8 strikeouts in that game when he went 10 innings. So he is mostly let you put it in play and tries to keep you away from hard contact. So on the hill for the Mustangs, we're going to see Luke Esquivel, and Luke is also coming off a shutout in Graham. In fact, Luke and Lolly posted shutouts there. So we, as a Mustang fan, we're confident that our pitching can match up with anyone we've seen so far this year. I don't know a whole lot about Lubbock Cooper's lineup offensively, but just looking at their numbers on the season, Mustangs have put up more runs than the Pirates on the season. So hopefully that trend continues.
I noticed last night their run differential is almost identical. I think it was 180. One of the teams had 188 run differential, and one had 185.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I didn't do that much math. I just kind of ballparked it. But you mentioned earlier the dimensions here in Brownwood are unique. The ballpark is 320 down the lines, which is pretty standard, But in center field, Ryan, you said it's only 350, and you can kind of see that the field doesn't extend out as much as you would typically see out in center field.
I can't tell, but it kind of looks like the flags are blowing out a little bit.
Yeah, I'm feeling it on my back. I'd say the wind's blowing to left center. Okay. So, yeah, those flags aren't necessarily showing it. They're not above the fence a whole lot. But yeah, I think the wind is going to help balls hit to center as well as probably either gap.
And it's a noteworthy breeze. I'm watching the flags snap a little bit.
Yeah, no, you're right. I kind of enjoying it. It's not too hot up here. But it is making it very comfortable here. The sun, fortunately, is hiding behind the clouds, and we'll probably lose the sun here in about 30 minutes. But it is for the third week in May. It's pretty comfortable out here.
It looks like we're playing on a brand new turf field too. This can't be more than a year old.
Well, I would agree with you because there's only porta potties here. We don't have indoor facilities. So while they've built a very nice stadium here and have a very nice turf, they haven't. I hope they haven't completed everything they intend to do because the only facilities are some porta potties.
Yep.
Coaches are meeting now at home plate.
One of those umpires, Jeff, the fellow there on the right next to Coach, I bet he has called 70% of our playoff games.
I know him. It's Jeff Catalano.
Yeah, he runs over the plate umpiring organization.
Yeah. He's a good guy. But he's the only one of the four that I recognize. So I think we're about to get some starting lineups here from the PA, but we did get the lineup for the Pirates. We'll go. Okay, the Mustangs will be the visitor here in Game 1, so we're going to get the starting lineup here, and we'll just let the PA guy handle the starting lineup for the Mustangs. He's got some UIL stuff that he plays.
So we're on mute right now?
Don't miss the final UIL state event of the year, the 2025 State Baseball Championships, taking place June 5th through June 7th at the Dell Diamond in Round Rock. For schedule, spectator, and ticket information, please visit uiltexas.org/baseball. Again, that's UIL.
Hey, you can't hear me, right?
I don't. Yeah, we're live. We're live. I was just letting them do the announcements. We're about to have the national anthem here, and if we miss some of the introductions, we'll go through the lineup here after we get the anthem. Okay, all of the Tradio listeners out there, my apologies in advance. We've got a bit of a skeleton crew here tonight for Tradio. We don't have our usual production expertise, so just bear with us. But hopefully we'll get things to you as best we can. In case we didn't give you you didn't get the lineups, the Mustangs are the visitors tonight. And offensively, we are going to start as usual with Luke Esquivel in the leadoff spot. Batting second, playing center field, will be Zach Goldstein. At first base, batting third is Jarrett Boswell. Hitting cleanup and playing third base is Lolly Esquivel. In the 5-hole, we got Gianni Corral behind the plate. Batting sixth, we've got Colin Park at second base. In the 7-hole, we've got Thomas Powers, who will be the DH tonight. Batting eighth is Connor Ray playing shortstop. And in the 9-hole, we've got Brady Boozer playing right field. And let me take you through the Pirates lineup here. Their leadoff hitter is Julian Torres. Okay. Trying to match up last names with their roster. Batting second is Kyler Gibson. Batting third and on the mound for the Pirates is Jake Quaglia. In the cleanup spot is Gus Cook. Batting fifth is Ryan Rodriguez. Batting sixth, Wyatt Self. In the 7 hole is Caden Buskey. We'll get to the rest of them here. We're going to go ahead and take it to the plate here as Luke steps in.
Wearing the Reds tonight. I love them in the red uniforms.
Yeah, I like that look myself. Jake Quaglia is a fairly tall right-hander. First pitch misses up and away. Saw where he is a UTSA commit. That's Texas San Antonio. Don't know much about their program, but that is a Division I school, so they like what they've seen from Jake. On the ground to the shortstop. He feels it clean, comes up, throws, and gets the first out right there.
Good looking fastball.
Yeah, kind of away from Luke. Reached for it a bit and just kind of chopped it to the shortstop. Torres is the shortstop. He's also the leadoff hitter for the Pirates. So Zach steps in right here, and Zach's coming off a home run in Graham. Really got, I believe that was game 1. Started well. Were you there that night, Ryan?
I was.
Yeah. Exciting start.
It was. It was a no doubter off the bat, if it stayed fair.
Takes that one for a strike right there to make it 1-1. So, yeah, Quaglia's come out throwing strike as we expected. Misses away right there.
So far, everything's up. He's leaving just about everything up right now.
Yeah, he's really not overpowering, so I should be, if he leaves it up there, we should be able to drive some balls. Fouls that one out of play to make it a 2-2 count.
You always have to wonder how much nerves is coming into play here. I always felt like when guys left stuff up early in a game, maybe they were feeling their nerves a little bit.
Yeah, sometimes trying to overthrow too will leave that pitch up. Pretty good. I looked almost like a slider that Zach fouled off right there, but that one definitely looked like it came in on his hands.
It did, and he did a really good job to spoil that. That was a good pitch.
It was. Got a pretty good view here. We're just to the right of home plate, so we can speculate on ball strikes a little better than usual. Like that was another hard slider in.
It was 2 in a row. Quaglia starts with no runners on from the stretch.
That's interesting.
That's what Dason does too.
Okay.
I think more guys are going to that. And even with guys that start from the windup, it's almost like a modified, I want to say Lally does that kind of modified windup.
When did Dason stop going with the windup?
Pretty early on. Pre-junior year.
A full count right here on Zach.
Good.
Takes that one up. This is a base runner right here with 1 out.
I know we're on the air, but can I ask you, am I allowed to be a bit of a Mustang fan tonight?
Hey, we're definitely homers,
okay,
man.
Good. Okay, good.
Yeah, I mean we'll do our best to commend a good play by the opponents, but make no mistake about it, we're rooting for the Mustangs.
We were in trouble if I was supposed to be neutral because I don't know that was going to happen.
Yeah. No, I even told the coach, the Abilene Wiley coach, in the interview last week, you know who I'm going to be rooting for. Jared Boswell steps in right here. There's one up around his letters that he takes for a strike.
I watched the catcher throwing it around. He's got a quick arm and a really quick release and a good arm. Ball gets there quick.
Yeah. Zach's got pretty good speed, but we haven't been too aggressive so far on the bases as far as stolen. Swings through that one right there to make it an 0-2 count. Well, that right fielder's almost playing on the track out there.
Look at that.
And that wind, I feel like it's even picked up a little, Ryan, so that ball is going to carry well to the outfield.
It is, especially off Jarrett's bat.
Good job right there to foul that pitch off like a breaking pitch that was up. So Coach Webster runs through some signs here. Might not be a bad spot to run. Sometimes on an 0-2 pitch, they'll throw something out of the zone, and especially if it's a breaking pitch. Not moving. Another foul ball.
I like that we're getting his pitch count here. Several foul balls from the last 2 hitters.
Yeah, I feel like the Mustangs do a real good job of that. Jarrett had a at-bat, I believe it was in the Boswell series. I think it was a 14 or 15 pitch at bat. He ended up flying out, but he made that pitcher work to get him out, and I think that played a part in that starter leaving early. It's on the ground to the shortstop. He's going to backhand it, come up and throw on the run. Wow, nice play right there by Torres.
That was a really nice play.
Yeah, he threw a one-hopper to the first baseman who picked it up, but he was deep in that shortstop hole. Threw it on the run. That was looked like a base hit off the bat.
He showed a lot of range there. I thought that was through for sure.
Yeah, and he was probably cheating up the middle too, because there's a runner on first base. He's playing for a double play in the middle. So Lally steps in here with a runner on second base and 2 outs. Good breaking pitch right there to get ahead.
And he has found that.
Yeah.
It's not kind of was coming out the back of his hand a little bit right out of the gate, but he's found that release point. It's looking good.
Yeah, that pitch that was inside on our lefties is going to hit the corner on Lally from the right side. Another ground ball to the second baseman, comes up with a clean and makes the play right there. So the Mustangs leave a man stranded here. We've got a scoreless ball game headed to the bottom of the first inning. You're watching Mustang Baseball Live on Tradio. Actually, you're listening to Mustang Baseball Live.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance. School sports are so much more than a game. They're about developing the whole person. That's why they're an essential part of every student's education.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day. Interscholastic sports in Texas. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic.
Timeout.
All right. Remember, What's the biggest myth about interscholastic performing arts? That you have to be the
I think it's so cool that we're looking out there at 2 brothers hanging out about 6 feet from each other as Luke warms up.
Well, and we saw in that last series that, boy, they really Luke's been dominant all year on the mound, but here just in the last month or so, Lolly's really taken a bigger role in the rotation and was just as impressive in that Game 2 start that he made against Abilene Wiley. So hard to believe, the Mustangs are going to have those 2 guys back next year to pitch and continue to hit the ball. I'm fairly certain our two leading hitters from an average standpoint. So Torres steps in right here for the Pirates. That fastball misses up and away.
Lubbock Cooper's kind of, it's a 1999 Twins looking vibe with the pinstripes and the red logo. Looks good.
Yeah, a little bit of Yankee pinstripes there with some red lettering.
2 balls and a strike. Let's go. Nice.
Yeah, good fastball right there. The Torres fouled straight back.
And comparing the outfield positioning from our team to theirs, we're in at least 20 feet from theirs.
Foul ball right there. Yeah, I've noticed the Mustangs not quite as deep as you might think, but I think that's also a factor of our pitching. Our pitching's been so dominant that they want to cut off those soft hits that might just clear the infield.
And on the other side,
Ground ball right here to Connor. He goes get it. Oh, nice play right there by Connor Ray. He went to his right there and threw the ball on the run to get the leadoff hitter. Not quite as impressive as Torres' play, but still a nice play.
Really nice play, and his arm action's so short and quick. He gets rid of it so quick.
Yeah, I've really been impressed with him all season, and again, he's a 10th grader, so Mustangs are going to be loaded again next year.
Lefty, lefty.
Yeah, this is Gibson at the plate for the Pirates. Takes that one for a strike on the inner half.
Front door slider.
Like that curveball missed up right there. Zach's playing a little bit right of second base, so must be looking for him to pull the ball. He squares the bunt, go foul. That had the making of a good-looking bunt for a second.
A lot of spin on it.
Yeah, Lolly let it go foul, but got out of the box in a hurry and looked like it had a chance to stay fair for a second.
He got down the line quick.
Yeah, as a lefty, and if you can, and we've got some lefties that can do it. Zach Goldstein and Connor Ray are two of the guys, but if you can lay that bunt down the left side and you got any kind of speed, it's very hard to make that play. Oh, wow. Good pitch right there by Luke. Didn't get the call, but good spot in a 1-2 count.
Tough pitch to take.
Yeah.
2 strikes.
Yeah, I think the Mustang faithful thought we might get the call there. We get a timeout right here in a 2-2 count. Nobody on base, 1 out.
On top of the plate. Backed off a little bit.
This down right there to make it a full count. Yeah, he's got his front foot definitely on that batter's box, inner line of the batter's box.
Choked up 1.5 inches.
Almost over the line. Okay, that one misses wide, so they're going to get a base runner here on a walk.
And when you see a lefty do that against a hard-throwing lefty, that's a team player, because that isn't fun.
It takes a little bravery, and especially when a guy's got a good breaking pitch. But maybe it makes that pitcher a little uncomfortable when you're there.
I know it does. It kind of feels like it takes the plate away from you.
So this is the starting pitcher, Qualia, at the plate for the Pirates.
Big lead for a left-handed pitcher. He might have been thinking first move, though he went back, although a step off. We'll see what he does when he lifts his leg. That was a huge lead for a left-handed pitcher.
Good breaking pitch right there for a strike. So since we don't have graphics tonight, we'll try and do a good job just keeping you updated where the runners are. There's one out, and they do have a runner on first base, courtesy of a base on balls. Got an 0-1 count here on Qualia. He's their number 3 hitter and starting pitcher. Okay, hit by pitch. Just came inside and caught him on the front foot. Kind of where Luke was missing on that number 2 hitter. So that's going to put runners at first and second. We're going to get a courtesy runner here for Qualia. Give you the name of the courtesy runner here. Looks like number 22, Jadri. Well, maybe not. Okay, yeah, the announcer just told us that's Mitchell Pantoja running for Qualia at first base. So
good pitch.
Yeah, good fastball right there on that outer half. It's a cleanup hitter right here. Cook at the plate for the Pirates. That one misses up and away to make it a 1-1 count.
Good job at Gianni going over and making that play. He quick back there.
Yeah, he really is. Got to be one of the best defensive catchers in the state. A big swing right there. Swings right through it.
Breaking pitch. That was a good pitch.
Yeah. So 1-2 count right here. Again, there's runners at first and second and one out. I noticed Connor is holding that runner close at second. I kind of like to see Colin do that. It opens up a big hole on that left side for the cleanup here. That one misses away right there to make it 2-2. Outfielders are playing him pretty much straight away. Okay, that one misses right there. This is kind of the trend we saw with that number 2 hitter. Luke got ahead in a 1-2 count. Now it finds himself in a full count. So looks like got a dugout warning. Tell him to keep all the players in the dugout.
Elbow.
Yeah.
Yanked down the left field line.
Yeah, breaking pitch right there that Cook was way out in front of. Probably a good thing because he squared it up pretty good, but just pulled it foul. What pitch would you call right here, Ryan, if you're the coach?
Inside fastball.
Wow. It was a fastball, but missed down. Yeah.
That just missed.
Yeah.
Over the plate, maybe low, maybe low.
So now we've got bases loaded here and only one out. Gianni's going to come out and talk to Luke, try and calm him down a bit. All three of these runners are courtesy of a base on balls and 2 base on balls and 1 hit by pitch. So they yet to get a hit, but here they have loaded the bases with only 1 out. Coach Webster comes out to join the party.
I've got a lot of confidence in Luke here. He's got such composure. I think coach is going to let him lower his heart rate, catch his breath, and he's going to come back in and pound the zone.
Yeah, he's definitely worked out of a lot of these jams. Looks like umpire's going to come out and break up the party, and we're going to get things going again.
Ground ball here.
So this is the third baseman, Rodriguez, that steps in for the Pirates. Another right-handed hitter. 4 of the first 5 hitters have been right-handed hitters for the Pirates.
Yes. Fastball, bottom of the zone for a strike. That was a good pitch.
Yeah, Rodriguez looked at that one, and good spot for it. Oh, he threw that one right by him.
Blew it by him, 0-2.
Good high fastball right there. I wouldn't mind seeing another one in that area, if not a little higher. Definitely a big strikeout spot. Got him.
Let's go.
Did that look like a slider or a fastball to you? It was down.
It was down. It looked like it had a change of speed on it.
Yeah, I thought it had a little downward motion. That's why I thought it might be a hard slider.
Good pitch.
Yep.
Momentum shift.
So got the catcher stepping in for the Pirates, Self. Well, the breaking pitch that stayed up right there for ball 1. So again, we've got the bases loaded here with 2 outs. Mustangs 1 out from escaping here. Fouls that one straight back. Self looks like a catcher. If you just had to look at his body, I would say he plays catcher, and he does. Oh, wow, good fastball.
This is great. Playoff baseball.
Yeah, you can hear the Shakers. The Mustang fans have come out. Good crowd out here tonight. About a 3-hour trip out here to Brownwood. This is up and away there. I really like the location of that 1-2 or that 1-1 pitch. I wouldn't mind seeing another one in the same spot.
Got him.
Oh, got him looking at a curveball. So Mustangs escape. They leave 3 stranded. We got a scoreless ball game here headed to the top of the 2nd inning. You're listening to Mustang Baseball Live on Tradio.
Timeout.
All right. Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic.
Okay, we're back with you here in the top of the second inning in a scoreless ball game. And go ahead and take us through this inning, Ryan.
All right, well, Johnny's at the plate. Curveball high, brings it in for a strike.
Yeah, that's that high strike we've been seeing really the last couple seasons. Consistent call.
Low fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike in the dirt. Low again. Another fastball. Missing low. Missed his spot too across the plate. Catcher to set up way inside. Left that one out over outer half. 2 balls and a strike.
Giving Gianni a lot of room down that left field line.
Oh. Deep fly ball, center field. Center fielder's on it, backs up and makes the catch. At the warning track, he's got 1 foot on the warning track there. Ball does carry here.
He did not hit that well, and you're right. The outfielder caught that on the edge of the warning track. So any ball that's hit decent to center field's got a chance to get out of here. I felt like Gianni got that off the end of the bat.
Yeah, it just kept going, didn't it? Colin Park watches strike 1 come through. 1 out, nobody on, no balls and a strike. Fastball, strike 2. Catcher set up off the plate outside, and that one maybe arm side run back over the middle of the plate. No balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, don't like getting down 0-2 without a swing.
Ground ball to second base, routine, fires it to first for an out.
That was that contact swing that you talked about earlier. Of course, in an 0-2 count, I can kind of understand it, but I'd like to see us aired out early in the count.
Yeah, he had choked up and was just trying to put the ball in play and see what could happen there. The 2 strikes. Pitcher did a good job to get ahead like that. Best pitch in the game is a first pitch strike.
I would agree with that.
All right, Thomas Powers. Line drive over the second baseman's head for a base hit. Stop at first base. Nice line drive single.
Yeah, Thomas picks up the first hit of the game for either squad.
Went with the pitch, drove it over the second baseman's head. Nice job of hitting.
Yeah, and it was a first pitch. He's going to come at you with a strike mostly on that first pitch, so be ready to hit it.
2 outs. Connor Ray steps to the plate from the left side. Fastball, fouled off to the left side, out of play.
We know Connor's got the power to get out of here. We saw Connor leave the yard at Boswell. Or was it Boswell or Richland? I think it was Richland because it was right after the Heights series where he hit 2 off the wall. So yeah, that was Richland.
Curveball, buried a curveball for a swinging strike 2. Good pitch. No balls, 2 strikes and 2 outs. Colin over at first base.
At least so far, I think our scouting report on Qualia was accurate. He's coming right at us.
Spoiled a breaking pitch. Fouled it off the catcher's gear. Still no balls and 2 strikes. Good job by Connor, spoiling a good pitch there.
Wouldn't mind seeing us try to steal a bag here. There's a base hit.
Line drive, nice. Line drive, 20 feet high over the second baseman's head. 1 hops to right fielder. Collins stops at second base. Another good job of hitting by Connor. He is swinging a hot bat.
Yeah, I looked at it coming into the playoffs. He had been hitting over 400 for the last month of the season, and he's done nothing in the playoffs to change that.
He's seeing it really, really well. His outs are long. His outs are hard, too.
I'm pretty sure the Pirates coach didn't want that pitch in that spot in an 0-2 count. That was a little too good of a pitch, and that's what you do with a mistake. You pound it to right field for a single.
I've heard it said about the different levels of professional baseball measured in the amount of mistakes that you might get in an at-bat as a hitter. And the higher up you get, the fewer mistakes you can expect. And you make your money off mistakes.
Well, Trey'd like to tell a story that John Burkett told him one time the only hits that major leaguers get are off mistakes. Now, that's a pitcher's view. If you go back and look at a guy like that, Vladimir Guerrero, who was hitting balls out of the dirt.
Off the ground.
You know, good hitters can hit pitchers' pitches, but typically balls that leave the yard are mistakes.
Speaking of good hitters, here we go. Brady watches the ball outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. Top of the second. Ball high. Curveball didn't get out in front of it, and it hung up high.
Yeah, if you're Brady right here in a 2-0 count, just look for something you like and tee off on it. He's not going to want to load the bases. He's going to come at you.
Fastball. A lot of the plate. Fouls off a fastball.
I got to say, that pitch right there might have been his best fastball of the game.
I saw the same thing. I thought that is 3 miles an hour harder than anything we've seen.
Yeah, we're talking between innings. So far as fastball has looked, we don't have a gun out here, but I wouldn't say it's been over 85, but he had a little bit extra on that one.
2 balls and a strike. Fastball.
There's a hit.
Drive. Left center field. It's down. 1 run will score. Connor slides into third base. Stand-up double for Brady. Let's go, Brady.
There we go, Brady Boozer.
Let's go.
Big 2-out hit right there to put the Mustangs on an early lead. Good job of hitting right there. Just kind of fought that ball out into left center.
Yeah, he muscled that out there.
Yeah.
Let's go. With 2 outs, Brady with a line drive double to left center field. Pushes Colin across the plate. Connor at third, Brady at second. And back to the top of the order for Luke. Inside, ball 1.
Luke grounded out to short in his first at bat. Really would think he definitely can get his pitch right here in a 1-0 count.
Fastball, fouled off to the left side. 1 ball, 1 strike. That was another good fastball.
It was.
He might have found something with that release point on that fastball. It's looking different.
Seems to have picked up a couple ticks of velocity, but yeah, Luke got a good pitch right there and actually was a little bit tardy on it.
1 ball, 1 strike.
2 runners in scoring position for the Mustangs out there at second and third. We got Brady at second base and Connor Ray at third base.
Luke calls time after the pitcher and catcher were working on getting their stuff together. Pitcher comes set. Foul ball. Good job, Luke. nasty curveball, inner half, scrapes the top of it to spoil it. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Ryan, I feel like that pitch has been tougher on our lefties than our righties because it's
has.
really breaking hard in on their
In the hands.
kneecap almost.
Yeah. Fans are into it. Nope. Come on. Ground ball. Ball in the dirt. Hits the catcher's gear and bounces forward. And Connor takes advantage of the opportunity and head first slide into home, scoring easily.
You know, Ryan, that ball only got away from the catcher about 8 feet, but great anticipation right there by Connor Ray. Catcher, it took him a second to find that ball, but if you don't break early like he did, you never score there.
Luke drives one deep but foul.
Yeah, he pulled that one way foul, but had a good swing at it.
Still 2 balls and 2 strikes.
You hear the Mustang fans cranking up.
High fastball. Full count. 8 inches over the zone. Kind of got away from him there.
Mustangs have done a great job this inning making quality work.
Full count, 2 outs. Brady over on third base. Nope. High, ball 4. Curveball, couldn't bring it down. That puts a runner on first and third with 2 outs for Zach. But we've got a mound visit coming. This is always so fun to watch how the boys react to pressure. Luke had an unbelievable amount of pressure on him with the bases loaded and 1 out. Calmed his heart rate down, found the strike zone, did the job, got out of it. Now Qualia's got to do the same thing. He seems to be getting a little rattled to me.
Yeah, he definitely has. These last couple hitters hasn't been a little bit off, but Mustangs just keep putting pressure on you from 1 to 9. There's really no easy outs in that lineup. That wears on you as a pitcher.
It is a 9-piece murderer's row. It's a pitcher's nightmare to try to figure out how to get through 9 batters over and over and over. Qualia is slamming the rosin bag. In the mound visit, he had water, he had towels all over his face and neck. This is going to be interesting. No balls, no strikes, 2 outs. Zach Goldstein at the plate. Ball high. Nope. Called strike. Top of the zone.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I thought it was a little off the plate, but it seems like the umpires had that. They're calling those out there on the corner and maybe an inch or 2 beyond it.
Fastball inside. Zach squirts it down the left field foul line, makes its way out of play. No balls and 2 strikes to Zach, who's also been swinging the bat well.
Yeah, Zach's over 300 on the season, and we saw it last year in the playoffs. His bat really heated up down the stretch last year.
Pitcher comes set. Curveball, misses high.
Got a delayed steal right there by our courtesy runner, Connor.
1 ball and 2 strikes, 2 runners in scoring position. Long look in. We're about to call time. Nope, here we go. Fastball inside. Zach pop fly to left field. Left fielder's under it. 3rd out of the inning. We got a crooked number.
Yeah. Really a nice start right here in the 2nd inning for the Mustangs to put up 2 on the board and did it all with 2 outs. So Anytime you score with 2 outs, much less 2 runs, it's a way to put together a 2-out rally.
Yep, that's a great inning. A lot of good hitting there. And we worked that pitcher. I don't know what the count is, but it's up there.
Yeah, we'll just stay with you here between innings. Unless we get word from our producer back in Colleyville that we need to take a break for a UIL announcement.
You know, in these best-of-3 series, you think about pitch count holistically. You think about it as a big picture, and how quickly can we get the ace out and start getting into their depth, so that if we go game 3, maybe we've worked through depth and we're seeing maybe pitcher number 5 instead of pitcher 4.
That's a good point. In a 3-game series, you often do have to go that deep into the bullpen, and we knew Qualia is their number 1 guy, but if we can make them get into the bullpen tonight and use some of those guys in the bullpen, it certainly has impact on game 2 and 3 if needed.
Pop fly down the right field line. Traffic. Brady steps in and makes a nice play, takes control of the play. 3 guys converged on the play. We had second base, first base, and right field all on it, all within 6 feet of each other when Brady makes the play.
Yeah, nice play right there. Much easier play for Brady to come in and make it as opposed to Jarrett going back on it or even Colin Park coming at it from a side angle.
All right, we got 1 out, and just misses outside to a left-handed batter for ball 1. Luke on the third base side of the rubber every time. Fastball, foul ball, over the third base dugout.
Yeah, it's a D.H. Roberts at the plate. Another left-handed hitter. I think he's only their second one in the lineup so far.
Ball and strike. Nice. Looks like a slider for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Oh, wow.
Big curveball from Luke. Beautiful pitch. Left-handed hitter swings over the top of it, and about 7 seconds early.
You know, just within the last 4 or 5 years, Ryan, it seems like they now call that pitch a sweeper. Do you ever remember anyone calling a pitch a sweeper 20 years ago?
No,
and I'd call that Luke's sweeper right there.
Yeah, that was a beautiful pitch. Now we have
get foul.
Line drive down the right field line, but just foul. Fastball inside, fought it off. No balls and a strike with 2 outs. Buries a breaking pitch in the dirt. Hitter lays off it. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Really like how this second inning has started for Luke. Made quick work of him so far.
Little low again. 2 balls and a strike. Luke pitching from the windup here. Fastball for a strike. Inner half. Two balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, not much Luvana could do with that one.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Let's go. Breaking pitch. Hitter swings over the top of it for strike 3 and a quick inning for Luke.
Yeah, really good inning right there, getting the last 2 outs by way of strikeout. Ryan, between innings here, let's talk a little bit about just the GCISD Major League Baseball player contingent, and how Trey and I talked about this last year. It was incredible that the AL All-Star squad had 2 GCISD guys in David Fry and Bobby Witt Jr., but then also A.J. Smith-Shawver has come up and pitched really well this year, and looks like he's going to stick with the Braves all year. He's only like 21 years old. Just incredible what he's doing at such a young age. And obviously, we know Dayson is pitching awesome in single A ball. Well, what do you think that says for our district?
Well, it says a lot, and it's no surprise. I mean, North Texas is a hotbed. It's one of 4 hotbeds in the country for talent. And what's interesting in the conversations we had down the stretch last year with different scouts, they have North Texas. They have personalities and cultures, and they view North Texas as a pitching culture, and they think of South Texas as a hitting culture. Isn't that interesting?
That is interesting. And I wonder what instigated that. I will say this, and the saying has always been in the Dominican is you can't walk off the island, and maybe the Latin influence in South Texas has a little bit of a connection there, but that's pure speculation on my part.
I also think it's probably a little bit of just experience bias, because there's a lot of really tough hitters up here.
Yeah, no doubt. There's quite a few of them on the Mustangs this year.
That is for sure. One of them, Jarrett Boswell, stepping into the plate from the left side. Watches ball 1 go across here in the top of the 3rd. 1 ball, no strikes, no outs. Fastball, Jarrett drives it deep.
That's going to go
into
deep.
The left field gap. It is off the wall. Jarrett's rounding first, standing up at second base with a stand-up double off the top of the left center field wall just in front of the scoreboard. Off a fastball out over the outer half of the plate. What a shot.
Yeah, and that ball was down around his knees. Just a really good job of hitting right there, and got it up in that jet stream, but hit it well. I thought for a second it had a chance to get out of here. That wall out there is about 8 feet, and it hit about 7 feet up on that wall.
If it's any indication, my goosebumps shot up off the bat. My goosebumps call home runs. So if I got goosebumps, there's a chance it's going.
Yeah, I knew it had a chance.
Now Lawley steps to the plate. Watches a fastball for a strike go by. Might have been an off-speed pitch. Didn't have the same pop as his other stuff.
So leadoff double right here for Jarrett Boswell in the top of the 3rd inning. Nobody out.
Breaking pitch. It's going to move Jarrett at third base. Shortstop throws across the diamond. First baseman has to stretch but makes the play. Jarrett's at third base with 1 out. Gianni coming to the plate.
Good job right there by Jarrett using his instincts. Typically as a base runner at second right there, you might freeze, and you're told usually if the ball's to your left, you can advance. That ball was kind of right at him, but it was a high chopper, and he knew he could get to third. Shortstop didn't have a play on him.
90 feet away with Gianni at the plate.
Pirates playing in, going to try and cut that run down on the infield.
Ball away. 1 ball and no strikes.
That ball Gianni hit his first at bat will do the trick here.
Sure will.
Take a sac fly. That'll work too.
Fly ball to deep left field, onto the warning track. Left fielder runs it down and makes a catch over his shoulder, but Jarrett tags and scores easily. Nice job, Gianni.
Good execution right there. Get that runner to third with 1 out and hit one deep enough to score him.
Gianni pulled my goosebumps there. I did not see that going to the warning track.
No, he got fisted a little bit, but again, this wind is really helping the ball, and this is just a small ballpark. You talked about it earlier.
Colin watches breaking ball land for strike 1. 2 outs.
That left fielder pretty much caught that on a dead run straight
Great
back.
play by the left fielder. Fastball, outer half, strike 2.
The Mustangs now on a 3-0 lead here with 2 outs and Colin Park at the plate.
Fights off a fastball on the hands. Qualia goes back for some rosin. Qualia from the far first base side of the rubber. Breaking pitch, Colin spoils it. Good pitch, good job to get a bat on that. After a good fastball on the hands, to be able to stay back and spoil that breaking pitch away. Would have been a strike 3. Fastball by him.
Yeah, tough pitch right there, down and away, but Mustangs scratch for another run here and take a 3-0 lead to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Definitely like the way this one started, Ryan.
A great start. This is, you couldn't ask for anything more than this right now. Luke's found his efficiency with a good, efficient 2nd inning, so he's in a good place on pitch count. Qualia's not quite as much so, and we got a 3-0 lead going into the bottom of the 3rd here.
I just noticed out there in right center, Ryan, there's like a hill where you can watch the game. That's a pretty cool setup out there. A right field porch, a natural porch with a grass hill out there.
Man, that looks like a lot of fun out there.
Yeah, if you don't want to pay admission, that's where you watch a game and maybe have a refreshment or 3.
They look like they're having a good time.
Yeah, I think all the Mustang fans paid the admission. That may be some locals out there catching some playoff baseball. If we had a camera tonight, we'd show you what we're looking at. There's about 15 of them out there on the hill in right center.
Well, the sun has set.
Yeah, honestly, I felt like they were a little slow turning the lights on.
It was getting dim, wasn't it?
Yeah. Really comfortable out here, too. I'm sure tomorrow's going to be a little warm, but I was a little worried about it being warm tonight.
Yeah, it feels great. Good night to watch a Mustang win. All right, back to work. Curveball, strike 1.
This is number 9 hitter, Lopez, at the plate for the Pirates.
Yes, he did. Tries to check his swing, but doesn't. Umpire checks with his first base umpire, and we get his swing there. No balls and 2 strikes on a breaking pitch, buried.
Yeah, he's got a sharp one tonight.
Fastball, spoiled to the right side. Heading towards the porta potties.
I almost got someone out there. Yeah, there's actually a line at the porta potties. They may need to add a couple.
Luke into the windup. Strike 3 swinging. You really love when you take care of the back of the order. All these guys can hit. Anybody who has who's still playing baseball right now, you got a strong hitting lineup all the way through, but you still want to take care of the back of the order efficiently and make sure the bases are clear when you get to the top here.
Yeah, well, it was our 7, 8, and 9 hitters that put up 2 runs in that 2nd inning. So that, that's frustrating when you're on the other dugout and you think, hey, this is where it gets easy, but it just doesn't get easy with the Mustang lineup.
There have been games where all of our production comes out of those last few spots.
Yeah, definitely a good distribution.
Luke with the fastball, evens the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Left-handed hitter.
I don't see the usual radar gun out that
They've got it. I did get from Molly.
Okay.
Our opposing pitcher had been sitting around 89.
Oh, wow. A little harder than I thought, but that may have been those pitches where he cranked up a bit.
Luke with a high fastball for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. A little scoreboard malfunction here.
This is Gibson at the plate for the Pirates.
Fastball just misses low and away.
He walked in his first at bat. I remember we had him in a 1-2 count, and he battled all the way back to get a base on balls. He crowds that plate.
Ground ball towards the first base side. Jarrett's got it. It's going to be a close play. It's Jarrett flips it to Luke, who's covering, but the leadoff hitter with speed beats the play.
Tough play right there. It took a big hop. I think Jarrett needed to come get that ball to have a chance at it. The problem is maybe if you come get it, it bounces over your head. So I'll call that one a turf hit.
Yeah, that's a tough play. That's definitely going to go down as a hit with his speed. So quick move by Luke to first base, step-off move. Runner on first, 1 out.
You know, the board's showing 1 out, Ryan, but
yeah, that's right.
I thought we had 2
Well,
outs.
no, we got the 9-hole and the strikeout.
That's what I was thinking. So, and Roberts is the number 2 hitter, so there should be 2 outs. Game changer's a little slow getting updated.
So we got a ball and no strikes and a TBD on outs. We think it's 1.
Well,
Strike, breaking pitch, catches the bottom of the zone.
We better go with 1 out. That's what game changer's showing.
Ball and a strike.
Yeah, they actually led off with Torres, the leadoff hitter.
Luke shows him a dummy move. You know, where he lifts that leg and makes a move over. Not going to show him his best move there. A lot of times you'll see that to set up a better move. Now, or maybe he'll save it for later. Curveball. Misses outside to a right-handed hitter.
Yeah, this is Qualia at the plate, the number 3 hitter for the Pirates.
Qualia got hit in the ankle last time through. So 2 balls and a strike. Speed at first base. Ooh. Check swing, foul ball. Back to coach, who's calling signs from the dugout.
I think that was a strike either way. He checked the swing, but it certainly looked like a strike.
I think so too. Two balls, 2 strikes. 1 out. Low. Full count.
They have the runner moving here, even though there's only 1 out.
I love a pickoff here. I love a pickoff here.
Oh.
Got him. Curveball. Qualia swings over the top of it. Foul tips it into Gianni's good squeeze.
Yeah, that runner stayed at first base, and it might have been a fortunate move. Could have been a strike him out, throw him out.
You know, Gianni squeezed that foul tip. You can't overstate the value of a catcher who can squeeze those pitches, can control the game, keep the ball in front of him, and frame pitches the way he does.
Yeah, no doubt. I know our pitchers like pitching to him. It makes a big difference.
Loved it. Ball and a ball and no strikes. Luke with a quick step off. Luke is an extremely crafty pitcher. His dad, I have watched Luke grow up, and his dad coached him on this stuff since he was little bitty, and he's always been crafty. There he goes.
He's going.
Pick off. Got him.
Got him, yep.
So Luke lifts his leg, shifts his eyes towards home, and then throws to first for the pickoff. Jarrett throws a nice strike to Connor for an easy tag, sliding into second base. Ends the inning. Nice play there, guys.
Ryan, you mentioned earlier before we got started that you've had your youngest son, his teammates have worked with Gianni some as a catcher. That's really cool.
It is really cool, and Gianni did a great job with them. And these are rookie catchers. There's an art and a science to catching, and if you've never caught before, you don't know either the art or the science or the fact that those two things exist. You're just out there trying to survive. And so we got him a couple of crash courses with Gianni to teach him how to just keep the ball in front of him, and just the concept of using their body to block. That is not a natural instinct to use your body and put it in harm's way to keep a hard firing baseball in front of the plate.
Well, I remember I tried catching when I was young, and the problem I had was when the batter swung, I would tend to close my eye, which most often are, you're going to catch most of those balls, but those foul tips, it's going to be real hard to follow it if your eyes are closed. So that's sometimes a tough habit to break.
Gianni, he is – I don't mean to just go on and on about him as a catcher, but he's unbelievable. And Dason would take these interviews with all these teams, and the conversation would always go to Gianni. And there was never a meeting that did not involve talk about Gianni and the ability he had back there to control the game, not only to frame and receive pitching from Dason, but also to manage the game, to go out there sometimes and calm Dason down, allow him to lower his heart rate, say the right words to get him back locked in. And to have somebody like that, in this program, 4 years on varsity is a game-changing dynamic on this team.
One of the things I haven't heard is where Gianni might be going to play ball next. I got to believe there's some colleges interested in him, but I haven't heard that. Have you heard anything about where he might end up playing in college?
I think there's a lot of interest, and I think this is a really big summer for him. I think this will be kind of that big summer where things will become more clear where that may go. He's going to have some opportunities for sure. Really good schools are going to want him to come play catcher for him.
I'll take us through this inning. We've got Thomas Powers leading off here for the Mustangs, and he's got things started in the top of the second inning with that two-out single to right field. So Mustangs sitting on a 3-0 lead here with nobody out in the top of the fourth inning. Takes that one for a strike right there and finds himself 0-2. Thomas is asking the umpire where that one was. I think he thought it might have been a little outside. Yeah, Qualia likes to work quick, and Thomas is trying to slow him down, steps out and gets time out from the umpire.
And, tempo pitchers like to be tempo pitchers. Stepping out, calling time, disrupting that really can throw them off.
Good high fastball right there by Qualia to get a strikeout and get the first out. And, yeah, I would agree with that 89 velocity. That pitch looked a good bit harder than what we were seeing early in the game.
Yeah, he's settling in. He's at 58 pitches, though, through 3 1/3.
Okay. Got Connor Ray at the plate. He had that single to right field in the second inning. He tries to lay down a bunt. Let's see. It's going to bounce foul. Good idea. He's had some side spin on that one.
Third baseman saw that spin because it landed 6 feet in fair territory, but he saw that spin.
Yeah, well within the green area of the turf. But I can tell you, when I hit my drives like that, Ryan, they always bounce left and usually find their way outside the fence.
I can relate.
Foul ball right there. That breaking pitch in right there. That's giving us fits from the left side so far.
There it is.
So Connor finds himself in an 0-2 count right here. Good eye right there to take that fastball up and away. Another fastball up and away to make it a 2-2 count. I tell you, the way that wind's blowing, Ryan, you really got to keep the ball down today because anything in the air's got a chance. That's a well hit right at the first base. He drops the ball. He's going to Connor's going to get to first base. The line drive right there. It looked like the first baseman was going to glove, but just didn't squeeze it. Another hard hit ball by Connor.
Looked like it caught that first baseman's palm. It missed the pocket, and it just caromed out of there.
That's a good point. That first baseman is not meant to catch it in right there on the palm. You know, that's the hard part of that glove. You got to catch it in the outer part of that mitt. Brings Brady to the plate. And Brady had that RBI double in his last at bat. Takes that first pitch for a ball right there. Coach Webster runs through some signs right here. I don't look for Brady to bunt with one out. Going to check Connor. It gets by him. Well, he's going to stay at first, okay. So, again, that first baseman had trouble squeezing a ball that was really right in his breadbasket.
Yeah, when you see that, I always look in the line away behind the pitcher for lights, and I don't see any lights over there. I think he just missed that. He might be feeling nerves over there at first base.
Yeah. 1-0 count here on Brady. Big swing, swings right through a high fastball. Mustang fans letting the Pirates hear their presence. Good curveball right there by Qualia to get that second strike.
Top of the zone, brings it into the very top of the zone. That high curveball.
Yeah, that's one of those that probably caught the backside of the plate.
There it is again.
Boy, he tried to go to the same spot and just missed a little bit out that time. Probably don't want to take that pitch if you see it again. Good swing right there to foul it straight back by Brady.
Yeah, another good fastball.
Yeah, up around Brady's belt. Connor's at first base, got a healthy lead over there. He's not going. That's down the line, but going to go foul. Boy, Brady teed off on that one, just got out in front of it a little bit. That looked like that breaking pitch that, just broke inside.
Another at-bat with a lot of pitches.
Yeah, I believe this is pitch number 7. On the ground to the first baseman. Going to be a tough play. He's going to beat it. Yeah.
Wow, great hustle. Brady got down the line so quick.
Yeah, he did, and that took a big hop on the first baseman. Qualia got over there, but Brady just beat him to the bag.
Tough play.
Yeah, another turf hit right there. That was you got to give him a hit right there. There's not an error on that play.
That first baseman's got to make the decision up before the ball's in his glove that he's going one. The fact that he tried to make 2 decisions instead of 1 is what cost us to be safe there.
Yeah, you're right. He did think about going to second there but he definitely didn't have a play at second. So that's going to bring Luke to the plate here with runners at first and second and 1 out. Ryan, I feel like the wind's picking up again.
It is. Gust is probably a strong word, but it's moving.
Yeah, it's a good 15-mile-per-hour wind. I'd love to see Luke get one up in it. Yeah, that pitch looked up, but they called it for a strike right there. So 0-1 count right here on Luke. Qualia spins back to send Connor back to the bag. Inside move there, but no throw. Gets back on the rubber right here. Foul ball down and in right there to make it an 0-2 count on Luke. Tough spot right here. Qualia's oh, that one gets by. That was a 55-foot fastball, it looked like, on the inner half. Got a pass ball to put 2 runners in scoring position with only 1 out.
You got to love that Luke, you could tell Luke had decided to wear that. And when it hit the ground, it spun away from him, but he was fully prepared to wear that one.
Yeah, he never got out of the way right there. It just didn't bounce into him, but it certainly looked like it had a chance. Swings through that one right there. Tough pitch, down and in. That looked like that good hard slider he's been throwing.
Yeah, he buried it.
So that's going to bring Zach to the plate here with 2 outs, and still got Connor Ray at third base, Brady Boozer at second. So good speed out on the bases for the Mustangs. Takes that fastball for a strike right there. Boy, that first baseman for the Pirates is playing back. I wish Zach could lay down the drag bunt. That's off the fist, but right to the left fielder. So Mustangs leave 2 stranded, but still have that 3-0 lead here headed to the bottom of the 4th inning. You're listening to Mustang Baseball Live on Tradio.
So Qualia is at 75 pitches to home plate, and he's sitting 89. But you've got to add 14 pitches of the rosin bag back down to the ground, and he's sitting 75 on the velocity on the rosin bag to the ground. He is firing that rosin bag to the ground.
Well, Ryan, I can tell you one thing he's not going to do tonight that he did against Argyle. He's not going to go 10 innings.
He's definitely not.
His pitch count would not allow that. Yeah, the Mustangs have made him work. Keep him in high pressure spots like that, and those pitches seem to put a little bit more toll on your arm in a high leverage spot like that with runners on base.
They do. You're right about that. That is a factor. A fastball, a pitch in a low stress, low stakes situation is not the same as a pitch in a high stakes situation.
You know, you mentioned the move from a left-hander, and I recall Dayson has a good pickoff move. Is that something that they really even work on much at the major league level? I feel like that's the one thing that maybe they don't stress as much in the major leagues as they do at the lower levels.
I've asked him about that. He picked off a guy on Saturday. He's picked off 2 guys now at first base with that same move. But they don't work on that. They do a PFP a lot, but not a lot on picks.
PFP. Let's for the people that aren't familiar with that acronym, what define that?
Oh, the pitcher's fielding practice.
There we go.
The pitchers love it.
Okay.
Choppers back to the mound, bunt coverages. You got to practice it though. If you don't practice it, you'll be rusty, and you won't have the sharpness when that presents itself to you as an easy out in the game.
Yeah, you take it for granted, but there's a lot of plays where that pitcher has got to get over and cover the bag, and that's not as easy to play as sometimes they make it look.
Especially for lefties. Luke evens the count, ball and a strike.
Yeah, I was trying to get the hitter's name here for the Pirates.
1 ball and 1 strike. Fastball for a strike.
Yeah, this is the shortstop Cook at the plate for the Pirates.
Foul ball down the left third base foul line. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Stayed back on a curveball there. Good curveball. Did good to spoil that one.
My apologies to any of Cook's family that might be listening to Tradio.
Fastball by him for strike 3.
That nice play that the shortstop made earlier in the game, I gave Torres credit for that, but that was actually Cook at shortstop.
I admire you for trying. I find myself saying hitter and pitcher all night long.
Yeah, I'm trying. I don't have to look at Game Changer for the Mustangs, but I try and at least give a last name for the opposing team. Yeah, this is Rodriguez at the plate.
Watches a fastball, maybe a slider actually, misses outside to the righty. 1 ball, no strikes. Fastball, he fouls it straight back.
Rodriguez is a third baseman for the Pirates. And I doubt the Pirates fans are listening to Tradio because they have their own broadcast team here tonight.
Fastball on the hands, swinging strike 2.
So we have 3 different broadcasts of this game.
High fastball, blows it by him. Swinging strike 3.
Boy, Luke just kind of slung that one in there. It almost looked like a Frisbee he was throwing there that got there in a hurry.
He really dominated that at bat. That hitter really didn't look like he wanted to be in the middle of that at bat. As the next batter watches a breaking ball land for strike 1. This is the catcher. Luke is filling it up. The catcher watches a fastball over the plate for strike 2.
Yeah, this has been a quick inning so far. It's well hit, though.
Left field back against the warning track, against the wall, and makes the catch.
Yeah, nice play by Derek Dwong out there in left field. Failed to mention him in the opening lineups. He's in left field, and Thomas Powers is DHing for Derek. So nice play right there to end that inning.
That was a great play. That ball was well struck. Had a little bit of topspin on it.
Yeah, you're exactly right. He got that one on the barrel, and it's a good thing he had topspin on it. So Mustangs now take a 3-0 lead here headed to the top of the 5th inning.
Nice quick inning for Luke there. I don't know what the pitch count was, but it was a very efficient inning.
Yeah, he couldn't have thrown more than about 8 or 9 pitches there.
He's at 68 pitches through 4, so he's doing great. I don't know if you've been following the attention that Paul Skeens has gotten on the change in his arm slot.
I read something the other day where he's not striking out as many guys, but really pitching to contact a little more and getting deeper into ball games. Is that got anything? I don't know if that's got anything to do with it.
I think it's related, but I also think what's interesting is him just allowing his arm slot to fall into a little bit more natural place. And I bring it up because to me it looks a whole lot like where Luke's arm slot is. Skeens was a little bit higher, a little bit north of what I would say would be natural, and there's a movement. The conventional wisdom used to be you really wanted to kind of keep your arm up, but there's a movement in Major League Baseball for the arm slot to be moving out into what they're calling a natural position. They're finding it to have less torque on the arm, the shoulder, and the elbow.
Well, that makes sense. The lower you go, you look at softball pitchers, they rarely have arm injuries throwing from an underhand slot. So, and on the same vibe, the sidearm guys tend to seem to have less arm injuries. So I can see where dropping down a bit would help the health of your shoulder and everything else involved, your elbow. Got Jarrett Boswell leading off the top of the 4th inning here. Jarrett hit that ball off the left center wall in his last at bat for a double. Fouls that one straight back. Fastball right there, and he got in there ready to swing. I like that approach because Qualia's shown that he's going to throw a lot of first pitch strikes. Got fisted a bit there on a fastball. It's going to fall in foul territory. Nobody can get there.
Qualia is at 72% strikes. That's very high. To put it, in context, the Twins want Dason at 67%.
Okay. Yeah, Trey and I have had that debate before, and I've seen 60 to 70% being kind of an ideal number. But you're right, when you're over 70%, your hitters maybe have an advantage unless you're really overpowering.
Now there's diminishing returns here.
That's on the ground to the third baseman, but he's going to throw out Jarrett. That was a funny-looking ball right there. Kind of fisted Jarrett. It looked like the third baseman was going to get it in the air. He took a one-hop and threw Jarrett out at first.
The ball jumped out of that third baseman's hand. I didn't expect the ball to move like that. He didn't really get his body behind it, but the ball exploded out of his hand and he ripped it across the diamond.
Well, I looked at who pitches some of their other games, and most of their starters are position players. I don't know that Rodriguez is one of them, but Lolly takes that first pitch, a fastball for a strike. Takes another strike right there. That looked like a changeup that stayed up. Lolly was asking the umpire where it was.
Check swing.
Yeah, breaking pitch away right there. Lolly checked the swing. I wasn't sure if the call would go our way, but it did. So 1-2 count right here on Lolly. Probably going to see the same pitch right here. Yeah, that's a breaking pitch. Gets a strike looking right there. Good hard slider out there on the outside corner. I think the lesson there, if there is one, is get in there and get ready to hit that first pitch fastball because that slider's tough when you're in the hole. It brings Gianni to the plate. Gianni had that sac fly to left. That's a ground ball to shortstop. Shortstop comes up and makes a play. So the Mustangs go down in order right there. Sit on a 3-0 lead headed to the bottom of the 5th inning. You're listening to Mustang Baseball Live on Tradio. Just got an update here from the radar gun on Luke. He's hit 91 tonight.
Let's go, Luke.
That's incredible for a 9th grader. Do you remember how hard Dason was throwing in the 9th grade?
Nowhere close to that.
I'll tell you a story that Trey told me when y'all's boys were 9th grader. He told me about Dason, and he said, we have this tall left-hander, Dason Hill, who he doesn't really throw that hard, but he throws a lot of strikes. And amazing, how much changed between his – and not just in 11th grade, Dason was hitting lower 90s, right?
Yep.
So it didn't take him long to get there. If you had to guess, what was he throwing in 9th grade?
78.
Wow.
That's my guess.
That's incredible.
I don't know if you remember. He was teeny tiny.
Yeah.
He always had an electric arm. When he was little, he threw hard. When they were all about the same size, he was a hard thrower. And then everybody moved on with life, and he hung out, staying a little guy for a while, and then but still had that arm. And then when his body caught up to his arm speed, it worked out.
That's incredible. Was there anything specific he did? Throw weighted balls or long toss? You might want to patent it if you have a formula. Yeah.
I was against it, just what I had studied and read. for his body type. He was so slight that this wasn't the right thing for his body type.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to get the bottom of the 5th inning here underway. Hitter looks like a curveball for a strike right there. This is Cook at the plate for the Pirates. Okay, didn't get the call there. There's another breaking pitch that must have missed up in the umpire's opinion. Gets the call right there on a breaking pitch. So 3 straight breaking pitches right here to Cook. Make it a 1-2 count.
This is, I feel for this hitter trying to figure out what he's going to do here. His timing was so late on that fastball. If that had been a strike.
I may have to go to game changer. I think I'm struggling here with the lineup that I was given. Yeah, this is Buskey at the plate for. I'm having trouble seeing their numbers from this angle.
So full count.
Weak pop up to right. Colin goes back to get it. Nice play right there. Wasn't sure if we were going to get there, Ryan.
It's that no man's land.
Yeah, that was that tough spot. Too far for Jarrett to go, and Brady, it didn't look like he was going to get there, and Colin made a nice play on the run.
If you dropped a pin on a baseball field where most injuries happen, it's somewhere right where he caught that ball.
You know,
those collisions.
We've had a couple scares this year. Fortunately, no real hard collisions. This is Roberts at the plate, the DH for the Pirates.
I always hold my breath on balls like that because everybody's running so hard and focused on that ball.
Foul ball right there to make it a quick 0-2 count. Yeah, I think there was a spot in another series earlier where Brady and Zach almost ran together, and I was thinking, boy, Zach's going to get the wrong end of that one. Brady's got probably 6 inches and 60 pounds on Zach.
Edge rusher build, the Micah Parsons build.
So 0-2, 1 out right here. Here comes the pitch. Good fastball away that takes for a ball.
I don't know how you take that.
Yeah, our crowd doesn't know why we didn't get the call, but I'm pretty sure that was a little bit outside. Oh, gets him swinging at a good breaking pitch. So 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Luke has total command of that breaking pitch right now.
Yeah, I saw Roberts tell the hitter, which I believe we may have a pinch hitter right here for the Pirates. Yeah, as the announcer just tells us, we got Jackson Turnbull pinch hitting right here. And interesting, Roberts gave him a bit of advice on the way to the plate. And I think he said, don't wait on that curveball. Try and hit the fastball.
Good luck.
Yeah, that curveball's been tough tonight. Pitch miss right there. There's a strike. Good fastball right there on the inner half. Turnbull's hitting for the number 9 hitter. Good curveball right there to get that second strike. So Luke's kind of doing what he wants right now. Seems to have just about, oh, wow.
Oh, love it.
Was that not a quick pitch?
It was.
I mean, that was a funny motion there. I almost felt like it was a running start. I can't say that I've seen that one before, Ryan.
That is the equivalent of a breakaway 360 dunk when you can. The fun that he's having out there on the mound, trying to get creative, experimenting with things, changing up timing like that. I love to see that stuff.
Yeah, you said he's crafty, and that was not necessarily it was a change in his delivery speed. Not the pitch was just another good hard fastball, but it was a very altered windup he took.
And it was really effective. I don't know if you saw the hitter's mechanics, but he was completely thrown off on his timing.
Yeah, well, you get in there in the box, and especially when you've seen a couple pitches like Turnbull had seen, and you get ready for his typical release timing, and Luke was about a second quicker than what he'd been in the first couple pitches. So
nobody on base with not just a normal slide step, but an abbreviated slide step.
Yeah, this game's kind of flying by. Here we are in the top of the 6th inning, and Mustangs sitting on a 3-0 lead, but we're only an hour and a half into this game. We're looking at least a sub 2.5 hour game on this pace, and that's got a lot to do with the way the pitchers have worked quick and
lots of strikes.
Hasn't been a ton of hits. The Mustangs do have 6 hits. The Pirates only have 1 hit. Been a couple base on balls issued, but pitching has been good both ways. Mustangs bats has just been a little better so far.
Yeah, both pitchers settled in. Both pitchers had to work out of some jams early in the game, some at-bats where the pitch counts got run up a little bit, but both have found the strike zone and are just filling it up now. All right. Well, here we go into the top of the 6th inning. Colin Clark steps up to the plate. Breaking pitch lands for a strike at the bottom of the zone. High fastball for a swinging strike 2.
Yeah, going to be hard to hit that one up there. That's a pitch that really need to take right there. That was not a strike.
Fastball away, looping fly ball to right field. Right fielder comes on in a full sprint and makes the catch at his knees for a great catch there. Looked like it was going to fall.
Yeah, that was a nice play. That was Buskey out there in right field.
Covered a lot of ground. Made a nice play. 1 out for Thomas. The old-fashioned spits on the glove. I love it. Fastball, just a little bit up, ball 1. Nice curveball, front door, strike 1. I really like Thomas has this is a compliment, has a vintage style to his play.
Yeah, he's a tough out. That's
Ground
going to get
ball
up the middle.
Base hit. Just to the left of second base, past the shortstop. Barreled ball, 2-hopper for a single for Thomas.
I feel like he makes good adjustments because you remember in his last at bat, he kind of got blown away. That time he kind of shortened his swing and just punched it up the middle.
Classic vintage style.
Yeah, he does have a bit of an old school feel about him.
I love it. So runner on first with 1 out. Connor ready to the plate. Fouls the fastball off to the left side.
I was just looking at Game Changer. They did give Connor a hit in that last that line drive that the first baseman couldn't hold on to. So he's 2 for 2 on the night.
Okay, that's good. Curveball. Oh, just up for a ball. I thought we were going to get a strike call on that.
Yeah, the umpire stepped back like it might be one of those delayed calls, but didn't call it a strike.
The Grapevine faithful is into it with 1 ball and a strike and a runner on first and 1 out. Fastball inside for ball 2.
Sure would be nice to pick up another insurance runner too right here.
I like our chances. Connor swinging a good bat. He's got hitter's count. Breaking pitch. Catches the bottom of the zone. Arguably.
Tough 2-1 pitch right there. You got to think you're probably going to get a fastball in that spot and just threw a really good slider.
The 2-2 count. Qualia misses outside on a fastball for ball 3. Now we got a full count. Breaking pitch, called strike 3.
Yeah, just froze him on that hard slider. That's been Qualia's best pitch all night.
The ability to throw that pitch in a 2-1 count and then a full count and land it for a strike is going to make you a very competitive pitcher.
Yeah, he's got a lot of confidence in it.
Brady steps to the plate and swings through a high fastball. Strike 1 with 2 outs and a runner on Thomas over there on first base. Just misses him with the fastball outside. Count evens, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Oh, delayed steal right there. He's going to get there.
Safe, nice. Good job, Thomas. That was a delayed steal. That was crafty.
Yeah.
Pitch missed well north of the zone. Thomas slides in safely. There was a throw, but it was off the bag and would have been late anyway.
Boy, Thomas has done that a couple times this season. He seems to know how to time that up well. So runner in scoring position for Brady.
Again, misses high and away. Two pitches in a row, misses well arm side, well north of the zone. Now we have a 3-1 count. Hitter's count with the runner in scoring position for a dangerous hitter. Brady steps back into the box. Qualia looks for a sign, comes set. Checks the runner. Fastball inside for a strike.
Oh, that was that pitch I'd be ready to tee off on. That's that fastball. I thought he might go at him with a curveball, but that fastball in the inner half's the one that I'd really be looking to take a big hack at.
So we've got a full count to Brady. Brady calls time. Steps out.
Well, their outfielder's not playing that deep.
Pitcher comes set. Fastball inside. Ball 4.
So Brady reaches base for the 3rd time tonight. Going to get a mound visit here from the Pirates coach. There is activity down in their bullpen.
Coach is taking his time.
Wow, Qualia's up to 103 pitches, so this might be it for him.
My feeling is the slower the coach walks to the mound, the more likely it is the pitcher's getting pulled. We're trying to get 2 or 3 extra throws in the bullpen.
Yeah, they could be trying to.
I see that.
Could be trying to
relief
at
pitcher
least
waiting by the gate. I think he's going to stay there. Maybe one more batter. Here we go.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was going. I think they want to try and get him out of this inning. But this is probably, if he started another inning, he wouldn't have many pitches to throw.
No, not with the rule that you can't start a new at-bat north of 110 pitches. You can start an at-bat with less than 110. You just can't start one with more than 110.
Okay, we're going to have a pinch runner here for Thomas Powers. Got Jack Pettigrew in to pinch run for Thomas. So we know Jack has good speed. Thomas isn't slow, but I believe Jack, maybe him and Brady may be two of the fastest guys on the team.
Yeah, he can move. Like to see Luke drive one down the right field line and see Brady score from first.
Yeah, that would be fun to watch Brady circle the bases for sure.
So Luke steps into the box, back to the top of the order. 2 outs. Ground ball back to the pitcher. Makes his way over to first, underhands it to the first baseman for the 3rd out of the inning.
Mustangs strand 2 runners. I believe that may be the 2nd inning in a row we've done that. So still nursing a 3-0 lead here going to the bottom of the 6th inning. Just Qualia is a good pitcher, you know. He's gonna work out of some jams like that. You just need to try and get in those spots as often as possible and make it a numbers game. Yeah. If you get enough runners out there, especially with less than 2 outs, certainly you're going to push more of those across, and the Mustangs have pushed 3 across so far.
And Coach Webster's really good at figuring out how to get guys across the plate once they get on base. They work on it all year long. It's not it's not one of these things that he rolls the dice out here. It's something that they work on beginning in the fall, and then it shows up in these games and comes through in big moments where he finds a way to get a guy over and then get a guy in.
Yeah, he talked about it in the interview before the last series. The one game they've lost in the playoffs, that was in the 2nd round where we lost that Thursday night game. We stranded 12 runners, and I think that what really frustrated Coach was we had runners at third base with less than 2 outs, and that's where you need contact. We had strikeouts in big spots, and ever since then the Mustangs have done a great job executing. When we get a runner to third base, I would say at least 3 out of 4 times since then we've pushed that runner across, and that's just good baseball. You know, cut your swing down, put that ball in play, especially if you can put it in play to the outfield, which we've had a lot of sac flies lately.
Yep, they've done a good job.
Okay, we got Torres leading off bottom of the 6th inning for the Pirates. Again, the Mustangs sitting on a 3-0 lead. Luke has been really effective the last 3 or 4 innings. Leads that first pitch, hits him down around the foot. That is the 2nd hit by pitch Luke has issued tonight.
Have you ever been hit by a 90-mile-an-hour something?
I have, but it's been a long time since it happened.
I always marvel at their toughness.
The velocity today has gotten a lot better than it was back in my day, but we did face some guys in college that could get it up over 90. In fact, we had a couple on our team. It's Gibson at the plate for the Pirates, and he has been a little bit of a pest tonight. Takes that one for a strike right there, breaking pitch that buckled his knees.
Had a ton of horizontal break. That sweeper action you were talking about earlier.
Well, and he's that one that stands pretty close to the plate. That makes it really tough.
There it is again.
Yeah.
Front door.
Didn't get the call, though.
That is an uncomfortable feeling to be a lefty and have that ball coming from your back over the plate as a left-handed hitter.
Yeah, and I feel like Luke has that arm slot you're talking about, a little lower arm slot, which
it is.
That one misses up right there, so it's a 2-1 count here. Pirates do have a runner at first base. That's a good pitch right there. He fouls off, making a 2-2 count. He's kind of a slap hitter. You know, he's even on his swings, Ryan, he's almost moving to first base.
Yeah, he knows he's got wheels. I think he's just trying to kind of put something in play and see what he can make happen.
Yeah, he's choked up on that bat at least an inch or two, and just trying to put it in play and make something happen. Torres doesn't have a big lead over there at first base, and he's not going. There's a strike. Wow, okay. Luke throws his hands up on his head because it looked right down the middle. I'm not sure what happened there.
There's a part of me that wonder the hitter called for time. The umpire did not give it to him, and there's a part of me that wonders if that umpire didn't show some generosity there because he should have given him that time. Got him there.
Yeah, you can't take two pitches that good and not get rung up. Luke, that's as much emotion I've seen him show on a ball strike call. He threw his hands up on his head because, Ryan, I didn't even think that pitch was on the outside corner, but it.
Well, Gianni didn't move his glove, and his frame wasn't moved over off the plate, so I'm with you on that one.
Yeah. So that brings Qualia to the plate here with one out, and Torres over at first base for the Pirates. Great fastball right there that Luke punched him out with. Comes back with a nice curveball that Qualia fouls off for the first strike. But down 3 runs, I don't expect the Pirates to run here.
Especially with the left-handed pitcher.
Good fastball right there and gets the call. So Qualia finds himself down 0-2. Interesting to see what pitch he goes at him with here.
A lot of options here.
Ground ball to Connor Ray, goes to Colin, and we're going to turn 2 to get out of the inning. Nice turn right there by our shortstop second base combo. Mustangs now are 3 outs from taking game 1. Going to come to the plate here in the top of the 7th inning and hopefully stretch this out a bit.
You know, one of the things that college recruiters and scouts talk about is your actions. Do you have baseball actions? How does your body move? Does it look like a baseball player? Do you move like a baseball player? Connor Ray at shortstop has phenomenal baseball actions. The way his hands and his body work together, the way he just went down on that knee and didn't bother standing up for it. Quick flip, sharp to second base, turn the double play. That was really pretty to watch.
Yeah, that's a great analysis, Ryan, because honestly, I couldn't believe when I saw him for the first time he's only a 10th grader because he is so smooth out there defensively, and his bat is just going to get better as he gets a little stronger, but he's already got a lot of pop for a 10th grader.
He's got more pop than his body says it should. He's out popping his body.
Well, I talked to his dad about a month ago, and I said, I told Trey Bell a couple months ago that I fully expect Connor Ray to be playing Division I baseball in a couple years, and his dad said that's his goal. But you never know if he keeps developing the way Dason did. He may find himself signing a pro contract.
Really cool.
But either way, just to have a shortstop like that that can play defense and swing the bat the way he does, that's a big part of the Mustangs' success.
And a little backstory on Connor. I've coached against Connor forever. He played on a team called Edge North, and his coach was Juan Castillo. The last name may ring a bell. His son is Seba Castillo, who's the star shortstop at Byron Nelson. So Connor and Seba played together all the way up, and Juan's a phenomenal coach, and Seba's a great player, and so the two of those guys, a rising tide lifts all ships. So those two competing against each other for the last 5 years, both of those guys are really, really good, and a lot of credit to Juan Castillo for coaching them up on that, and then for to Connor to put all that work in. You don't get that good. You won't move that way without a lot of reps.
Yeah, you're right. Playing with good competition and other good players, you certainly can learn from that. And we do have a pitching change here for the Pirates. We thought that would be Qualia's last inning, and they now have a lefty on the mound, and I'll try and get a name to go with the number. It's number 19 now on the mound for the Pirates.
So I'm going to veer out of the diplomacy lane here with some analysis. I don't think this is going to be one of their top 3 or 4 pitchers out of the bullpen, judging by what I've seen here, the way his arm works, the way he shows the ball, the way he delivers the ball. I think they may be saving here at this point.
Yeah, well, down 3 runs with only 3 outs left, that kind of makes sense. This is Holden Hefner on the mound for the Pirates. Leads Zach off with maybe a breaking pitch for a strike. But yeah, no, you're right. If they have a top reliever, they may want to save him for a tighter spot. Oh, takes one in the back. Yeah.
When he separates his hands, he really shows that ball the entire time. It's something that can make a pitcher very difficult, even if he doesn't have stuff or velo, would be his just deceptiveness. And some of that deceptiveness comes from how hard it is to pick up the ball. If you can keep your eyes in contact with the baseball the entire time that pitcher separates, that gives you a huge advantage as a hitter.
Yeah, well, Zach lost sight of that one when it hit him in the back. So,
well played, sir.
That one couldn't have felt good either. I'd say it caught him on his number on the spine. He's going to have some stitches probably on his back tomorrow. So, I mean, the baseball stitches.
Coach is dusting that.
Yeah, Coach Washburn's telling him, don't rub it. It doesn't. It's fine. Coach Webster runs through some signs here. This might be a spot for a bunt with nobody out, and Mustangs just trying to pick up another run. Zach doesn't have a big lead over there. It's not running, and yeah, Jarrett Squares going to try another delay steal as the throw goes high. So we get there without a bunt. That was a bit of an odd, unless that was the intended strategy. Jarrett squared the bunt. I thought he maybe just took it because it was a ball. But then Zach, it was a delayed steal is what I thought I saw. What do you think?
Yeah, a delayed steal or just a dirt ball read and sees it down and just, he's trained his instincts to move on a ball down out of the hand.
You're right. Yeah, that pitch was down. So, yeah, maybe he just broke thinking it was going to get by the catcher. Either way, it works, so we'll take it. and again, now we've got a runner at second, nobody out, so we still may see a bunt here from Jarrett to move that runner to third. Let's see right here. Looks like he may be squaring. Yeah, he squares early, takes it for a strike, I believe. The Pirates are going to stay back on the left side, going to ask the pitcher to cover that left side, and that third baseman's going to stay back and try and take a throw if it's a bunt right back to the pitcher. That's a really tough ask for that left-handed pitcher to cover that line, that third base line. Takes that one for a ball right there. First baseman's coming hard. That's Qualia now over at first base, the starting pitcher for the Pirates.
throwing a strike into a batter that's fully squared around, committed to a bunt, is something. It's harder than throwing a strike in a normal situation. It's just not something your eyes are trained to see often, and it's just not quite as easy.
Yeah, Jarrett takes that one for a strike after squaring. Didn't think it was a strike, but the umpire did, and now finds himself in a 2-2 count. I would expect him to be swinging here. He is swinging. That ball's in the air.
It's going to get down.
The second baseman goes back and gets it. So, bit of a flare that looked like it had a chance to fall, but Torres goes back and makes a nice play for the first out for the Pirates.
Well, that was a good play. I thought it was going to get down.
Yeah, maybe just a little too selective there in the bunting situation. If it's close enough to be called a strike, you probably need to make an attempt to bunt it. So that brings Lolly to the plate here. Runner at second base and 1 out. Takes that one for a strike right there.
I think Lolly's about to absolutely torch a baseball. This lefty versus righty.
Great spot right here for a big hit. Top of the 7th inning, and Mustangs could use another insurance run to just make it a little more relaxing out there in the bottom of the 7th. Takes that one for a strike. So we're taking a lot of strikes right now. That's same thing with Jarrett. Jarrett got down in a 2-strike count without a swing, and Lolly finds himself in the same spot, 1-2 here without a swing. That one bounces in. Catcher picks it up. Nice pickup right there by the catcher. I believe that's Cook behind the plate for the Pirates. So 2-2 count right here. And still got Zach Goldstein out at second base. Good speed. Outfielders are playing deep, so any single to the outfield should score Zach. Hard hit ground ball to shortstop. He gets by him. Here comes Zach. I don't think they're going to have a play at the plate. Lolly's going to try for second. They're going to get him. No, the ball pops out. Okay.
Glove got flying.
Mustangs now sit on a 4-0 lead. That was an error right there by the shortstop. But we'll take it as a Mustang fan. Aggressive base running right there by Lolly. I thought they were going to get him, but again, they didn't hold on to the throw. Ball beat him to second, but so runner in scoring position right here for Gianni with only 1 out. And Gianni had a sac fly earlier in the game. That one misses down.
Lolly's headfirst slide in a second knocks the second baseman's glove clear off his hand with the ball in it.
Yeah, I guess it is hard to hold on to it when 6'5" and a big guy comes in like that. That's hitting the air. Let's see, the center fielder's going back, and he's going to get there. We're going to tag and go to third. So pretty well hit ball right there by Gianni to the base of the track.
Well struck. I mean, again, anytime an outfielder turns around and starts sprinting backwards, you've done something right, getting your barrel to the ball.
Yeah, we saw his back. He got on his horse and went back and got it, made a nice play. Sometimes when you turn your back on the ball like that, it's hard to pick it up. So they got Colin Park at the plate here, 2 outs. Lolly at third base. Swings through that one right there. Another fastball he swings through to make it 0-2. So Mustang fans have been loud all night, but maybe a little extra loud here in the top of the 7th inning as the Mustangs have a chance to stretch their lead a little bit more. Okay, takes that one looking right there. So Mustangs do scratch for 1 and now have a 4-0 lead here headed to the bottom of the 7th inning. We're 3 outs from taking game 1 in this series.
Luke making his way back to the mound.
Yeah, this is definitely his game to finish, and I think I'm going to check his pitch count, but I don't think he's at 92 pitches, so just a typical inning from Luke, and he'll stay well under the limit.
It does look like Sam is down there getting loose. I think that's Sam down there.
Yeah, that does look like Sam Gerard, and we've seen Sam pitch in the playoffs. He pitched out at Boswell and pitched well in, I believe that was game 3 of that series. I'm struggling already, Ryan, to remember who we played. I just remember where we played. You know, I'm like, okay, we played at Richland in the first series.
I'm bad about that too.
Played at Boswell in the second series. I know we played Brewer. I believe we played Brewer in the opening series.
Yeah. Some guys have an amazing memory for
Trey Bell. Kind of Trey Bell reminds me we played Joshua. I do remember in the third series we swept Abilene Wiley and Graham last week. My memory's got a week in it, maybe not 2 or 3. That's a ball hit pretty well in the right field gap. Brady's going to go get it. Nice play right there. Good running catch right there by Luke. That ball was pretty well hit, and Brady just ran it down.
Nice play, Brady. On the run. Ball tailing. Makes it look easy.
Okay, unfortunately, we're missing the K meter tonight, so we'll have to tell you there's 11 strikeouts now by Luke. I got to admit, I didn't realize he had that many.
Another great outing. So 1 ball, no strikes. Fouled straight back. Got a ball and a strike.
It's Rodriguez at the plate for the Pirates.
Luke in the windup. Fastball, fouled straight back again.
Yeah, good fastball right there. Got in on his hands.
Luke's hovering up there close to 70% on strikes as well. Another fastball fouled straight back.
Yeah, not only does Luke have 11 strikeouts, the Pirates only have 1 hit all night.
I can only think of 1 barrel also.
Yeah, they haven't hit many hard for sure.
Wind up. Curveball outside, just misses.
Oh, he thought he struck him out.
Around.
He turned his back thinking the throw was going to third base, but didn't get the call. Honestly, the umpire may not have liked that reaction, but I got to agree, it looked like a strike.
There it is.
Okay.
So we got a full count. Boy, that last curveball, man, just looked like it caught that back door. Fastball driven. Zach's going back.
That wind
over his
got
head.
a hold of that
one hops the wall. He's going to stand up into second base, rounds it, retreats to second base for a double.
You know, Ryan, Zach looked like he was going to catch that ball, and then it was almost like a gust of wind picked up and just carried that ball out of his reach.
It's a 20-mile-an-hour wind right now, blowing, I would say, out.
Yeah, that ball one-hopped the center field wall in the deepest part of the park. It was well hit, but Zach had a reaction initially like he was going to almost camp under it, and he realized, I've got to try and get back. This ball is going to the wall.
So 1 out and a runner on second. Curveball misses outside. Coach is going to come.
Yeah, Coach Webster's probably going to try and slow him down a bit. I felt like after that call he didn't get, he almost rushed things. You know, that the 2-2 pitch missed by a bunch, and then came in with a fastball that admittedly they just put a good swing on. So Mustangs only 2 outs here from closing this one out, but the Pirates aren't going away easy. Pirates did win 29 games on the season, and you win that many games, and I'm sure a few of those they came from behind. So can't think this one's over. You got to stay focused.
All right, I'm enjoying watching the conversation here between Coach and Luke. It was animated from Coach, not in a negative way, but it was more animated than you're accustomed to seeing in those conversations. I guess as Coach is reminding Luke how good he is at this game and the command that he has over the situation here.
Yeah, I'll finish that thought after this pitch.
Fastball by him.
Yeah, before the Abilene series, I interviewed Coach and asked him what Luke needed to do to continue his success, and he just said, just be Luke. That was the answer I got.
Fastball fouled up towards the first base dugout, moving out of play.
Well, it almost hit the top of the dugout, but that wind is really going to make a pop-up tough right now. It's going to move that ball.
It is. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Luke stepped back on the rubber and decided to be Luke. That looked really imposing from Luke there. Fastball on the hands. Crisp.
Self at the plate for the Pirates.
Another fastball, this time early on it. Pulls it just foul down the third base line. Didn't get a barrel on it, kind of got the end of the bat. We're going to wait for the Lubbock Cooper teammate to grab the ball and clear the field.
Yeah, I think I'd change speeds right here. He was
early on that fastball.
Just hijacked that fastball.
Long look in. Comes set. Fastball called.
There it is.
Strike 3. Maybe a slider. Fastball or slider? What do you think?
I think it was a fastball. Yeah. He just froze him on that inside corner. Yeah. Just changed location on him. He'll make that 12 Ks. The K meter would be pushed to its limits if it was up and running tonight.
All right, with 2 outs, the Grapevine fans rise to their feet. Runner on second. Luke on the rubber. Fastball, strike 1.
That was Luke's 107th pitch, so regardless of what happens, this is probably his last batter. Hopefully this is the last batter of the game.
Comes set, delivers. Line drive to right field, right at Brady. Squeezes it. That's the 3rd out of the inning, and that's the last out of the game.
Great start to the series by the Mustangs, and that's now 3 straight shutouts for Mustang pitching, all by the Esquivel brothers. Just another dominant outing by Luke, and Mustang bats also get the job done. Mustangs had 7 hits, and a couple of them in some big spots. And those first 2 runs we put up, Ryan, were with 2 outs. So that's
it's timely hitting from your Grapevine Mustangs. I feel like that's a theme.
Yeah, the hitters did what they needed to do tonight, and again, when you don't allow the other team to score, the worst you can do is tie. So just couldn't ask for a whole lot more from the Mustangs, and looking forward to tomorrow's game at 1 o'clock. Ryan, thank you for joining us tonight. I know you got to coach a little league team tomorrow morning, so we'll miss you, but. I know you'll be tracking the Mustangs from afar.
I will. I'll have Game Changer up as I'm calling balls and strikes for a 9-year-old little team. But I sure enjoyed this. I'm glad that I got to come out here and watch another Mustang win. I feel good about this series, the way the guys are swinging the bat, and we've got a lot of pitching depth left. I've heard that Lubbock Cooper does have a lot of pitching depth, so I expect a good game tomorrow, but I like our chances.
Yeah, I like them too. You're now 32-3 on the season. A lot of those wins have come against good teams, and looking at the box scores for the Pirates, yeah, those other pitchers have been effective. They've been winning some low-scoring ball games for the most part in the playoffs, so probably going to see another quality pitcher tomorrow for the Pirates, but hey, we'll bring our own quality pitcher out tomorrow, who I guess will be Lolly Esquivel. He pitched Game 2 in the Abilene-Wiley series. So, but we're going to go ahead and shut it down here. Again, Ryan, thank you for the insight. Thank you for sharing a little bit about Dayson's baseball this year, and we may try and get Dayson on the phone in a future spot if they have an off day or something. But either way, have a safe trip back to DFW, and hopefully we'll get to do this again in Round Rock.
Would love to. Let's go Mustangs.
Okay, for everybody here at Tradio, we're going to sign off for tonight. You've been listening to Mustang Baseball Live on Tradio. Have a good night.
Timeout. All right. Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic